Okay. Yes, now we're going. Right.
That's all good?
Yeah.
All right, so hello and welcome to the potentially tens of...
Give him a bit of space for us. Give him the... I was like, because
That was the best intro yet.
I know. Yeah, just like count to 5 in your head, then start. That's the best bit. That's way too long. You're fine.
What are we paying you? Half it, fire him. Can I go now?
Yeah.
So good. Hello out there to the potentially tens of people who could be listening to the very first episode of 49 Shades of Grey.
We'll work up to 10s.
Hi, Mum, and welcome to the first episode of 49 Shades of Grey. I'm Todd Gray. If you haven't heard of me, that's perfectly fine. I'd be worried if you did, to be honest. To my left here, we have Daryl Swanky. Introduce yourself, Daz.
Hey.
And poker extraordinaire, Benny McDonald.
How you going, guys?
Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, thanks for sorting all this out, guys. For those who don't know, I've been wanting to do a podcast for a long, long time now. Obviously, I don't know anything about technology, so I needed some help and I needed some friends to come in and do this together because I don't think there's anything better than a bunch of mates talking shit.
But he couldn't find any, so he just came up with Benny himself. Outstanding.
And I appreciate you responding to my Craigslist ad. That was really good. And I'm glad to meet you.
Fortunately, Daryl knows where I live.
You still want to get rid of that mattress? Or? And
Only 4 stains.
So I think a good little thing to start with, guys, is that just all of us, let's just go around a minute or two, tell everyone about ourselves. Thoughts? This is sounds like an AA meeting now at the moment.
Yeah.
Or speed dating.
Yeah.
Excellent, no worries.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Daryl. I'm the
Staring
librarian
deeply
by
into
trade.
your eyes.
Ooh.
All right.
Yeah.
Go first. You go.
Tricky. I'm Swanky. You might remember me from such podcasts as Rail.
No one remembers you from there.
Australia's only pub poker podcast. No one remembers that.
I mean, it was amazing.
It
Let's
was
be honest.
amazing.
But no,
And
it's
of
not
course,
even up
young
anymore.
Benny Macker was my co-host on that amazing endeavour.
Yeah, we're pretty much the tech dudes behind Todd now, so yeah.
I'm waiting for the movie of the rail. Who would play you guys in the movie?
Oh, that's great. We should do it, instead of each other.
Zach Galifianakis would play me, I think.
Damn.
I can.
Yeah.
Good call. Actually,
Yeah.
good call.
And I don't know who would play Daryl.
I'd say Matthew McConaughey because we've got the same abs.
The one where he's got AIDS.
Wow, right, yep, all right. No worries, we should move right along there.
Dallas Buyers Club, Matthew McConaughey is definitely dead ringer for Daryl.
Brilliant. With that, I think I'll say my name's Todd Gray. I've just come back from doing a 2-year working holiday around Europe, and
Which is fucking sweet, by the way.
it was mate.
Oh, who would play
Right.
Todd in the movie of this podcast?
That'd be close.
Oh, Matthew McConaughey in that AIDS movie.
Is it like Eddie Murphy where he just plays like every character in the
Like the Fronts or whatever.
But no, it was the holiday was great. Like I said, 15 countries in total I got to, and I got to Africa as well. Absolutely brilliant, and I think this is a good
15 countries and Africa.
And Africa.
Like Africa's not a country now. Sorry, Africans.
But it was great, and this is I've been wanting to do this for a long time. Get my friends together, have a chat, have a yarn, have a laugh, and record it at the same time. If anything, it's an excuse to get friends together and make each other laugh, which I think is brilliant.
Yeah, and if someone else but your mum listens, well, then that's a bonus.
My family's about one step above Amish people. No one has a computer, no one has a smartphone in my
No
family.
joke, my mum has never turned a computer on in her life.
My mum did by accident and rang me in the middle of a show once. I kid you not.
Big shout out to Benny's mum too. If I can get my socks back, that'd be great.
But it was trying to explain technology to my mum. I tried to explain before I went to Europe Skype to her,
Yeah.
and it just blew her mind. She couldn't understand. She's like, but what? Like, so I have to call you. I'm like, no, you used the computer and you can see me. She's like, but you'll be in Europe and I'll be in Australia. I'm like, no.
If I hold the tin can and pull the string tight and hold it to my face, you'll be able to see me.
I had this laptop enchanted before I left, Mum. Don't worry, it's fine.
Got some fairy dust sprinkled all over it, and we can just magic each other and see.
I won't even talk to about my mum and technology. It's just, that was a shudder. That was just horrible. Yeah.
And talk about yourself a little bit, man. Go and get in there.
Well, I am a nerd, pretty big one, really. I'm an engineer by trade, so I do electronics and shit all the time. So
I can tell by this sweet setup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't
This
talk
is
too much
good.
more. Everything else
I'm
is
pretty
top
sure that's the only reason I'm around. And Todd didn't want to just have me in the background because that would be...
No, you're a good kid. You're a good kid. Your head's good and right. You'll go places. It'll be fun.
Yeah, so, and then that's about it, really.
Yep. All right, I think I gotta. Let's tackle the big issues. First question. First up, I know, Daryl. What's your favourite chocolate bar? And why? And why?
Crap. I like them all.
That's not an answer.
Oh, yeah, I know, but I can't really think of one off the top of my head, to tell you the truth. I like a lot of them. I like those Boost chocolate bars. They're actually pretty okay.
You stole my answer.
Oh, there you go. Sorry, I don't like Boost. They're disgusting.
Yeah, this is a shit question if we both have the same answer.
Well, that's why we should have gone to you first, then you would have got it. Bad luck, buddy. I bags Boost. Actually, Boost is my favourite chocolate bar of all time.
So now I have to think of something else, right?
Yeah. And the only reason why it's my favourite chocolate bar of all time is because Benny wanted it to be his favourite chocolate bar of all time, and now he can't.
It's like the older sibling syndrome.
Oh, yeah.
He wants it. No, it's mine. It's mine. I'm never going to use this, but he can't have it.
My favourite podcast.
Your favourite podcast? What is your favourite podcast?
49 Shades
The
of Grey.
Rail.
Never heard of
No one. We don't even have the website up, and you can't fucking.
Someone
keep
stole
saying-
our website. We let it lapse.
because we didn't pay the $15 a year to fucking renew it.
Yeah, it's not good.
Anyway, my favourite chocolate bar, Boost Caramel.
Yeah, damn it. Oh, I wanted to say that.
Because
It's got that toffee
because
in it.
it's just slightly better than Daryl in almost every way.
In almost every way. Yeah.
See, mine's very simple. Mine is the Curly Whirly. I don't know why. The Curly Whirly was the chocolate bar I used to get as a little treat as a kid. And I've just never grown out of it. I have at least...
So is Curly...
Whirly...
Yeah.
And go ahead.
Curly Whirly is a memory of your childhood. That's a bit deep for this podcast. But
Isn't it? No.
is that that's why you like it so much?
No, I've never... I know, it's simple. It's brilliant.
These are the kind of
alright.
things that make me feel really old. I don't mind the Curly Whirly bar. It's just when you say they're the things that remind me of being a kid. Curly Whirly bar's been out for what, 10 years, 12 years? It really hasn't been out that long.
No, it's probably longer than that.
Do they?
Yeah, but not much longer. I mean, it probably is maybe 20 years, but that's...
Do they still make the white chocolate Milky Way anymore? Because I remember having that when I used
That
to
was
go to
a-
kids club at the cinema, and
think it's a limited
only
edition
thing I've
thing.
ever stolen in my life was a white chocolate Milky
Yeah,
Way.
those things are pretty good. Mars Bar had a thing for a while too called like Mars Volcano or something. I can't remember. It was like in a black and orange wrapper, and that thing was just that just sent Mars to a whole new level.
Funniest chocolate bar story I can tell you is about the old Polly Waffle. You remember the Polly Waffles? Virtually, it was just about 8 meters of dry wafer and then about 2.5 millimeters of marshmallow on the inside. That's pretty much what the Polly Waffle was. We did a show when I was at university where literally the only props we bought for the entire show were we bought a disposable camera and 40 Polly Waffles. And I remember going to the counter and putting them on the counter, and the lady said, "Do you want anything else?" And I went, "Oh, I'll be back in a minute." And I ran off. I came back about a minute and a half later. I came back with one more Polly Waffle and just put that on the counter. And the best thing is we had a $200 budget for the show. It was just like a little TAFE experiment. We only showed like other students and that, and we spent 173 of the $200 on Polly Waffles.
Did you eat them all?
I ate about 4 or 5. We had lightsaber battles with them, and we were
I
in our
actually
early 20s
thought that was
when this
going
happened.
somewhere. I thought that was like, we put these Polly Waffles on the bar with the disposable cameras, and then said to everyone, take the Polly Waffle and the disposable camera and come back with some great photos. That would have been pretty cool. Especially in the old days when you'd have to take that film back to get developed and to see where that Polly Waffle went.
Oh, by the way, Daryl, you know how you were saying you're old?
Yeah.
Curly Whirly was launched in 1970.
Wow, okay,
So,
there you go.
yeah.
It's actually older than me, which is not by much.
Yeah.
Wow.
Daryl's old, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm the oldest person on this pod. I mean, I'd be intrigued. I'm I was 41 just the other month. How old are you?
I just turned 30, so I'm officially.
I went to his 30th birthday party like a week and a half ago, and I'm saying, how old are you? And how old are you, Tom?
Just 27.
Christ.
It's fine.
Wow, it's been every decade.
With about a 60-year-old hairline.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
That's why Daryl's here,
No
because
hair
you
jokes.
wanted someone with less hair than you.
It's a nice fit. This is going back. I'm going George Costanza bald. That's my
Yeah.
problem. Like the sides are flourishing, but the top's going like
You're gonna
African rainforest. Like, it's just been. This is being hacked.
You could probably grow like a mullet, do like the Bill Bailey, and have a mullet with bald head.
If you don't go rat's tail, then there's something wrong with you.
Plaited rat's tail and nothing else.
Yeah.
Was it everything else off? Just
Yeah.
get the rat's tail.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Brilliant. Well, I've already seen what I look like bald because another thing I've had a bald cap on. I'm in a film that I did. I make it sound like I actually get constant work. Virtually like
This is 10 years worth of.
Virtually the 3 stories I've told you is about 95% of the jobs I've had in my life. But they put a bald cap on me, and it wasn't too bad. But the best thing I did was I had about 2 hours to kill for lunch. So before the shoot, I went to Boost Juice, got a boost, came back. Got the bald cap on. I went, fuck, I'm going back to Boost Juice again just for giggles. Just about 20 minutes later with a bald cap on, same shirt, same lady, same everything. And just watching her, she's just like staring at me while she was putting she's like orange in the thing, just staring at me, shaking her head in there. And just looking at you like, are you the evil one? I don't understand. But it not too bad, but it's going to happen. And,
So that happens to me all the time because I'm a twin. So I'm like the
and
fat.
you got the facial hair too.
I'm the fat hairy one. So it's heaps funny when I see my brother's uni mates or something who I vaguely might recognise, but they're obviously like best mates with my brother, and they're like, "Oh, how you going?" And I'm just like, "Yeah,
All
good
right.
mate. All right, so have a good day," and just fucking walk off. And then they probably think they just got like massively.
I used to
snobbed
get
by
you
their
and Maddie
friend.
mixed up all the time when we first met, when we used to play poker at the old spot. I reckon at least 2 out of every 3 weeks, I'd get the two of you mixed up. Guaranteed. Absolutely guaranteed.
Oh, see, now I've got a question then about twins, because, I mean, it's that question that gets asked. But, like, did you ever do the whole swapsies thing that's between you and Maddie? Would, like, you pretend to be each other and see so you could see what would happen?
No, we never did that.
You've
But
never swapped wives?
No.
Thought about it? Oh, you couldn't get away with it now, could you? Poor old Maddie's wife just going, "Yeah, nice one, Maddie."
The one weird thing that used to happen was like if we were, say, sitting on the couch watching the footy or the tennis or something, and no one would speak for half an hour, and then all of a sudden at exactly the same time we'd say exactly the same thing.
That's just spooky psychic
and like
stuff.
it, obviously like you can tell that we're pretty much the same DNA and all that sort of shit.
I was waiting.
All right, there it is.
I was waiting for you to bust that out.
Daryl has a soundboard, everybody. You'll
Yeah,
probably
it's my new
hear
toy. It's
way
fantastic.
too many of them.
How many
That
are
was
there?
perfect. Oh, millions. This is just my favourites.
So he's got a thing that looks like buttons from an old like
Arcade
Street
machine.
Fighter 2 arcade
Yeah.
machine.
What is Bejeweled?
What's that one?
EA Sports.
Oh,
It's in the
sweet.
game.
Oh, that is brilliant. Everyone remembers that, surely.
EA
All right, so-
Sports. It's in the game.
When you hear that, what game do you think of? Because everyone has a different game.
All right, let's play it, and then you go. Then what do you reckon?
EA Sports. It's in the game.
It's clearly FIFA.
FIFA any particular year or just
All of them.
All of them.
Well, I had a gap from about FIFA 09 to like this year where I didn't play them, but
Yep.
now I'm kind of smashing FIFA again. So I play a lot.
Team of choice?
Real Madrid, even though everyone beats them.
Yeah.
And
Like Real
everyone-
Madrid, like the sponsors of the Rail podcast. Oh wow!
Did you ever go to a Premier League game? You've been to Europe as well. Have you ever been to a Premier League?
No,
or Champions?
didn't get to go there. Then I was pretty disappointed that I didn't get to go. But went to Ashes cricket though. That was good.
Oh, nice. I didn't get to any cricket matches. from my
I
time.
actually saw the last time Shane Watson made a Test century. That's how long ago I went to Europe.
Wow.
That's gone back. Hey, geez, that's gone back a bit. What?
Yeah.
I never went to any cricket matches the whole 2 years I was there. I went to heaps of tennis games and everything like that. A couple of them. So I've never been a massive fan of soccer. I can call it now, but you don't call it that over there.
Football, mate.
Yeah, but I went to 2 Arsenal matches because I made a friend who was a big Arsenal fan. I went to see a Champions League match when they played a Turkish team called Galatasaray. That was terrifying. They threw flares on the ground when they got about 3-0 down.
Get a bit stabby.
It was a tad stab, just a tad stab. And then I went to watch them play in a Premier League, Hull City. And I remember that was the first game I went to, the Hull City game. And I was never a big fan. And I remember, like, the atmosphere. It was like, this is like second versus about 15th at the time. There was about 60,000 people there. And I'm like, oh, I'm just going to go because I haven't been. By the end of it, I'm like, let's go. Where we flipping the cars at? Like, let's go. Like, there's a dumpster there. Who's got a lighter? But setting this on fire.
Who's on dumpster patrol? You let the team down.
It was just amazing how much, like, just being there, mate. I nothing soccer. It was a nothing.
Yeah, well,
sport.
I'm probably the same. Like, I'm a bit of a bandwagon soccer supporter. But then we were travelling last year when the World Cup was on, and we were in Germany at the time, and just going to probably the favourite one was when we were in Berlin. And they basically, where the Brandenburg Gates were, there's like a big 6-lane freeway that they just cut off, and every like 100 meters or so there's just like a massive super screen, and there was like 300,000 people there watching it was Germany USA, I think we saw at the time.
That's so
and
cool.
It pissed down with the rain, but it was still so good. And even just like we went to stay with a brother-in-law over there, and there's just like in a tiny little town, but even the town had like a public viewing area. Every single town had a public viewing area, and every time a goal was scored, you just saw like shitloads of fireworks going everywhere. And it was just the atmosphere was just amazing.
Yeah, you can't buy that. I went to Berlin and Munich when I was in Germany. Liked them both. Preferred Munich, if I had to be honest, but that was just so cool. My favorite was just the guys just selling sausages and those big giant, like just walking around these giant like grills on the front of them. And you just walk up, you're like, what, one? And they just reach around. They look like a bad guy from like Mario, like the Koopa Troopers and all that. It's got a huge bloody shell on the back. Turn around, it's so cool.
I've been to like one soccer game in my entire life, and I'll call it soccer because I can't stand the game. And the only reason I went to this game was because it was all part of the Sydney Olympics. So I was way back in 2000.
Oh, nice.
And it was one game being held here in Adelaide at Hindmarsh Stadium, and it was between America, the USA, and Japan, and it was for a semi-final berth. I imagine whoever won this game was going into a medal round.
So
it would have been a quarter final then. Something like
it would have been a quarter final.
Yeah.
So it was pretty exciting. So there had to be a winner. There was none of this draw stuff, and it was. I was excited because I'm like, this is my one chance to get to the Olympics. So even if we're not actually in Sydney, we're in Adelaide. Didn't really matter. And we're watching it, and it's probably the most exciting soccer match that ever hit especially the big time. It ended up being a 4-4 draw at the end of full time. So
that's pretty good.
8 goals.
8 goals. That's more than what you'll see in like 9 years.
Exactly. And I was blown away because then all of a sudden then they've said to us, we're going to have 2 15-minute halves, and whoever's got the highest score at the end of that will win the game. If there's no goal scored, or if the scores are still level at the end of this 15 minutes, then we're going to go into golden goal time. So we're like, this will be interesting. Sure enough, nobody scored in that half hour of play, and we're like, this will be great because now it's anyone puts the ball in the back of the net, game over. So it was really, really exciting. Nothing happened. So then it went down to penalty shootout.
I love penalty shootouts.
Oh, it was nuts. The cool part was our seats were right up the front. We were like the second row back from the front, and we were right up one end in front of the goals, are sort of right in front of us. We were side onto the pitch, so the goals, we'd see the guys kicking across our way. Now, the guys all lined up in front of the goals, and everyone's getting like, it's really exciting now, and the Japanese fans were insane. They've got their faces painted, and they're all screaming. They got bongo drums and God knows what. They're having a great time. The US is on the other end of the ground, and they were in similar, and they were going bananas. And we're all getting set up, and the first guy's about to take his kick, and then I remember some guy just runs out and goes, no, it's supposed to be down that end. So the crowd went from where we were sitting. We started booing and hissing, and they went and they ran and 400 photographers all picked up their gear, ran to the other end of the pitch. They all got set up. The guys about to kick off
First
again. They're
photographer there got a gold medal, silver medal.
No, they went, what? No. It's supposed to be the other end. So
What?
we all, yay! And the other end of the ground, they're like, boo! They pick up all their tripods and they all run back down this end. And all the guys grab their gear
Benny
and they
Hill's
run down
playing
this
in the
end.
background.
This went on nearly 3 or 4 times with the crowd, yay, boo, yay, boo. Finally ended up down our end, and now I forget who won the match. So
Soccer won the match.
Soccer won the match that game. It really was. It was brilliant. But like I said, that was the best best and only game of soccer that I've ever been to, and it was insane. It was brilliant.
I love penalty shootouts. It's great. I mean, I've played FIFA a few times where like you'll be in extra time, even if you're playing against a computer or someone online, where you're like, no, I want penalty shootouts. Like you'll have a shot at goal and you'll always be like, I don't want to take it. I love penalty shootouts.
When you get a chance to win the game, right? You go, nah, it's all
No,
right.
penalty shootouts. It'll hurt him more. It'll demoralise him more.
Yeah, if you're any good at it, of course.
Yeah, I'm not at all.
Dear. All right, well let's go back. I want to do that again. So, Todd, what do you?
EA Sports. It's in the game.
What game does that remind you of then? When
Well, I'm a big 2K, so NBA 2K normally. But the original story behind what that reminds me of is NBA 96.
yeah.
Going back ages, we have a blockbuster in Gawler.
Was Dennis Rodman still like kicking around?
Oh, him, Pippen, yeah, this is like vintage
this was
Bulls
like-
years,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
This was I think this was
Luke
like
Longley.
Space Jam was just in the theatres. But no, I used to go to Blockbuster back in the day before you could just download everything like that. Consoles, $3, half an hour. NBA 96 used to be my game, and I remember it because I had the most useless, most unfair thing on earth on there. I had a little thing in the options. You could click it, which would just be automatically keep scores close. So you couldn't
really?
get over a 10-point lead. That was the whole point of the game. So if you got out the 10 points, you would miss dunks, you'd miss everything until the other. I was like, what is the point of this? What is the point?
That would be so frustrating.
That's horrible.
I'd love to see that in real NBA.
They just like take the ring away for like a few minutes.
Rondo, what you can't. It's a foul. What? You're 12 points up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The ring just raises its way up for like 15 feet in the air, so it's harder to shoot.
You couldn't hit anything if you're 10 points up. You could be on a fast break. Like, you could be at the ring, and the closest player could be about 4 states away, and you'd still just dunk. And it'll
some
just
scaffolding,
bounce
climb it.
off. It was brilliant.
Ah, no.
But no, NBA. That's what.
Well, there you go. When I hear this,
EA Sports. It's in the game.
I'm reminded of a PGA Tour golf on the old Sega Mega Drive. And I remember having this game. I was living with a couple of mates, and I had like 3 accounts set up on it. You could save, players and what have you. So I would have, I'd have Daryl set up there, who was one of my hack golfers, and I'd just get on and go, I want to just practice certain holes. And it didn't matter what I did to this guy.
94 over par.
Yeah, it wouldn't matter, because I just want to cane this hole and learn it and just smack it. 'Cause then I'd have my real player, Daryl Westley, would be up there, and he was just a gun, this guy. So I'm like, yeah, I've nailed this 9th hole now, and I know how to play this. So I'd play it right through. All my stats were amazing.
So your stats were perfect because you learned
That
how
particular,
to play.
which was great. And then if
sacrificed
anyone
Daryl
came
for
over
Daryl
to
Swanky.
play, that was the name that I used. I'm like, I put my good guy for this, because all the stats will go on this guy. But the cool part about this game was we got broken into our house, and that's cutting the story short. We caught this guy. He had stolen a heap of stuff out of our house, and about 2 days later, which is another story, we caught the guy. The police got him, and
I was going to say, did the police catch him or did you catch him?
we did. That's a story. That actually is a story in itself. And it's a
Really?
soccer story.
All right.
That's so
So,
cool.
all right.
All right, I'll do it really
we have
short.
time.
A mate of mine had, he's a big soccer fan too now. I forget what team that he supported, but whatever team that he had, that he supported, he had this jersey for. Now, my mate is a pretty big guy. This particular jersey that he knew was like a one-off. The chances of another version of this particular jersey being in Australia were really, really slim, let alone in the same area that we lived in. And we were pretty devastated because we'd pretty much been cleaned out of our house. my mate was driving down the road about 2 or 3 days later, and he sees this girl, and she's a stick, and she's wearing this particular jersey. And the first thing he thinks of driving past is like, damn, that's a really nice jersey. Then he's just like, hang on a second, I've got that jersey. And so he realised that there's just no chance that anybody's going to have that jersey. So he called the cops and spoke to the detective that had come to our house and had interviewed us. He just started following her like it was all 70s cop show stuff. He's just like, she's cutting through parks, and he's just she has no idea that
surely
she's
he has
Put his
soundbar
black
for that.
sunglasses on.
no, I don't have. I probably do have a 70s music back thing. No, bugger it. Like New Indiana Jones, no. And so he followed her, and in the meantime, the police had then caught up with him. They just grabbed her and just said, "Listen, we know you broke into the house. Where is it?" She just folded like a cheap deck of
Because
cards.
it wouldn't have been her. It would-
No. She went, "Oh no, it was my boyfriend." So sure enough, she just took them straight round to her
true love.
boyfriend's house. Yeah. And in the wardrobe, he's got all this gear, and because we've already itemised what had been stolen, and so they get back to the. This is where the game comes back in. We get back to the police station now. Not only is the guy wearing also the guy that broke into our house, he's wearing a pair of my mate's sneakers. He had some Nike runners that he'd bought, and
You
had
can tell it's a
described
while
them
ago
to a
because
T.
people steal shoes.
Yeah, well, it was nuts.
This clearly
You get
was,
a pair of volleys for $10 and I can take these. It's fine.
It was insane.
were they Reebok pumps?
And then they had my Sega Mega Drive there as well, which he at that point we go, this is great, and carved his name in it with like a Stanley knife or something crazy all over the thing. And the cop said, "Now is this yours?" And well, mine didn't have his name carved all over it for a starters, but I said to him, "There's one way to be able to tell if it's mine. You can just put the PGA Tour golf cartridge in, and my name should pop up on the screen."
Got the cartridge, went.
Blew the dust out of it, stuck it in, and because the guy the whole time was saying, "No, this stuff's all mine. This stuff's all mine." So they turned it on. They said to the guy, "Well, do you know this person here?" And they pulled up the name. He's like, "Yeah, that's a mate of mine." And he's like, and the cop said to him, "Does your mate look like that guy out there through the door?" And he went, "No." I'm like, "Well, that's his name." Oh no. So yeah, that.
Did he mess up all your stats?
No, he hadn't.
Oh, yeah.
Hadn't thought about that, no.
How shitty would you be if
just
some
hadn't had a
guy
chance
just
to
yeah,
Daryl
at
Swanky, 8 over par.
Son of a
Put him on life. Give him life.
Yeah, so anyway, you're on a yeah. So it pays to use your own name in these games because eventually, yeah, it'll come back and it'll pay dividends even if your stats aren't great anymore.
The game I always used to use my own name, and I just used to make what I always wanted to be was every wrestling game. I'm just like, look at me, I'm awesome. Look at me, look at I'm this, built like that, and bench press.
But you still make the dude kind of look like you, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
just like
did
massively.
it so much, yeah. And you're just like, yeah.
This will be the cool part about this whole show is that you're not a wrestling fan, are you, Benny?
I know nothing about it.
Outstanding.
Like, you are a wrestling fan.
yeah.
Oh, good. We're gonna get along just fine.
Yeah.
when
I have had for this
So should
past
I
week.
go for a beer now and come back in 10 minutes? Or?
Yeah, if you want, I'd probably just go down the shop and get some more beers if you wanted to. We're going to be a while. No, I just got this week. I just went and got the WWE Network.
Oh, it's $10. It was $10 a month. Oh, it was about 13 Australian.
Yeah. It's $9.99 a month, unless you live in Australia, and then of course the price is going to fluctuate according to what the currency exchanges for that. For that moment. So it hasn't cost me anything because it's free for the month of February. So get on a WWE Network. It's free this month. So
When I was in London, I went to the O2, and I've been to like house shows and that when they come to Australia. But I went to my first film. It was Raw and SmackDown. I bought tickets for both.
Yep.
I bought tickets to Raw because that was when they had the big Daniel Bryan Triple H kind of rivalry, right? And I had to get tickets right up in the nosebleed section because it was sold out. And I bought tickets to SmackDown only for one reason, and that was because Hulk Hogan was going to be there.
Outstanding.
And I got to see the Hulkster live. I have never been able to grow out of wrestling. I know I should. I know it's all
No,
fake
you
because
shouldn't know.
I love
awesome.
It's back in the day when Hulk Hogan was there. It was just the storylines was just I want to fight you. Why? Don't like you. That was it. Now it's like I want to fight you because you're my long lost brother who murdered my cousin and you kicked my dog and all that.
Yeah, I love the storylines. Doesn't matter how crappy
It's
they
the
are.
world's most watched soap opera.
Yeah, it
is.
really
Yeah.
is. But I love the fact like what happens is like ages ago, there was one where like Kane went to Randy Orton's house and like choke slammed his wife through their kitchen table, and he's like, "I want to fight you in the cage." I'm like, "Get the law involved! Like, send this man to prison!" Like, tens of millions of people watch this show. You've got witnesses. Put him. He's just choke slammed you. You've got kids.
Watched the doco on the network last night about Brian Pillman, and it was something I hadn't seen before. Was this storyline going way back where Stone Cold Steve Austin and Brian Pillman, who were they were once upon a time they were tag team champions of WCW, but now they're on the WWE or the WWF back in the day. Stone Cold goes to they don't like each other anymore, and they're fighting.
I know who that is.
Stone, you do? Outstanding. Well, he breaks through Brian Pillman's door, so he smashes his way through, and this is all on live TV because they're interviewing Brian Pillman at his house with his wife there. Because he's in hiding because Stone Cold is going to get him.
I'm in hiding. I'm going to go on TV.
Stone Cold smashes through, unlocks the door, you're looking at it, then Brian Pillman pulls a gun out. And I'm like, what the fuck is going... This is WWF for crying out loud. And they're like, he's like, oh, don't shoot. And Stone Cold's like, I'm going to get you, Brian Pillman. And then all of a sudden, Pillman pulls out the gun, and then the whole thing goes... And they're like, okay, we can't. Then they come back, 10 minutes like, oh my God, what's going on at Brian Pillman's house? It's like, no one's called the cops. They're all just like, oh no. And, let's just watch the WWE universe and watch this,
The neighbours are just like, well, shots fired. Neighbours are like, Pillman's at it again.
But that was the thing. They came back and they were like, somehow Pillman's been disarmed. They couldn't do anything because Brian Pillman had been off, legitimately had a car wreck, and has got all these pins in his leg, big bolts and screws hanging out of his leg. So he couldn't really do anything, but he kind of got up and like, this guy's standing when he shouldn't be standing at all because he's got a legit injury. You can see the rods coming out of his leg. This isn't a wrestling injury where it's fake. And then all of a sudden, a crowd out of nowhere, like you would see come from backstage, have wrestled Stone Cold out of the house. It's like, where did these 15 people come from?
Oh, I was having a party, so I invited my 15 favourite armed security guys.
I was expecting to almost see like a couple of referees come out and do that whole, get back.
1, 2,
blend the line. Brian Pillman pulls a gun. I was just like, what were they thinking? And this is a good 10 or 15 years ago, I imagine this happened.
Back before, now it's all PG and stuff. But I've never, I don't know why, I watch it, even now I still watch it, I'm like, it's a bit shit. And I still watch it every week.
I do. I love it, and I know that it's, I won't use the word, don't use the F word.
It's not real.
Good, he didn't use the F word. That's good. I can know that it's not real, but if you say fake, that's when tables get flipped and we start wow.
No, I used to like it when I was like 7 years old.
Yeah. I still am 7 years old. It's great. I love it.
I remember I went there because I went to Raw with a friend of mine. I went to SmackDown on my own, and I still remember sitting there like I looked around. And I'm like, I'm the only person over 12 years old who's not a parent. And when Hulk Hogan,
were you sitting there in the crowd, like going yeah, and then turning around and just like high fiving like 8-year-olds next to you,
random strangers? Yeah.
Hulk Hogan, you don't know that. You're scum. That's Hulk Hogan. When his music came on, I literally like jumped out the chair and to the point where I was like, I went to cheer, and then I just kind of got to the point where I'm like, oh, and I stood up and I actually got my phone out and checked it in. I was checking my phone.
They're the best live performers ever, though. They know their audience and they know how to get the reactions they want from the audience, which is great. I remember when Raw came to town quite a few years ago and we sat and watched, and I just read the Ric Flair's autobiography, and up until that point I hated Ric Flair, wasn't a fan, mainly because of the character that he was playing. I did exactly what they wanted to. They got me to not like him, but then I read his book and I'm like, I fucking love this man. This man is brilliant. And when he got here, he still played the heel, and I'm like, I love that he's playing the heel, and I was like cheering because he was being so bad. But I come back to the whole, they know what they want to get. Right at the end of the show, John Cena wrestled Ric Flair, and I'm like, this is great. John Cena ended up winning. It was epic match, went for about 20-25 minutes, and it was a great match. Flair did everything that I used to hate. I'm like, he's going to do that whole falling on his face thing again. I'm like, now I was like, I know the story behind this and I know how it works, and I'm like, this is amazing. He did it, boom, over he goes. Cena wins the match. He did it because he was really on top of that at that particular point when everybody loved him. He came out and from he did a bit of a Stone Cold moment where they had some Eskies down by the corner, and this guy pitched him a can of VB, and he grabbed it, and then he went to open the top, and he looked at it and went, freaking, and he's got the mic in his hand still, and he's just like, oh, I'm not drinking this shit. And the crowd went fucking bananas. He said, throw me a real beer. So then they pitched him a Cooper's Pale Ale.
Oh,
and he's like,
good.
that's more like it, no worries. And opens up the pail and slams
away
the crowd went bananas. And then, of course, he brought Ric Flair back, who was kind of bleeding like he does, and he's stumbling away. He's like, hey, Ric Flair, come back. And he came back down and had a big hug, and then they both smashed back a pale ale each, and the crowd went bananas, and it was fantastic.
It's so easy how they just change people from good guy to bad guy. The best way, they just go out there and they'll be in, like, say, Houston. They'll just go, hey, Houston! Straight away, you're a good guy.
Yeah, I'm loving it.
They'll get out there and
I'm
go,
loving it.
Houston's stupid. Bad guy. He's a bad guy.
I think Mick Foley was the best for that because he would do that, and he's like, I've had a great day here in Houston, and the crowd would go insane. I love that stuff.
You gotta have a guilty pleasure, don't you, Ben? If wrestling, I'm happy to wrestling's one of mine where when you're just like, I shouldn't. I'm 27 years old. I shouldn't, but I will. I will always watch.
No, I don't do
I
that.
don't know. I'll have to think about that. I'll get back to
See, I still watch a handful of cartoons and that as well. I'm not afraid. Can't grow out like
I love
ones
that.
like regular show, Adventure Time, stuff like that. Where you're just like, yeah, this is not meant for kids.
Yeah, that's not a cartoon. We'll have differences here. I can see. The Bugs Bunny show, that's a cartoon.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
you
brothers.
Yeah, but you knew them when they were still black and white.
I did. I was doing that transition phase from when they were just
Technicolor.
from when they went from just like standard black and white cartoon with just some piano playing in the background.
Steamboat Mickey.
And now I'm doing my own old jokes. Yeah.
I used to love Looney Tunes back in the day when they.
Oh, they're brilliant. They're even better now.
Are they even on anymore?
The best ones
Probably
I watch like the real, like back in the day, like the race or the racist ones, or like the incorrect ones and all that. Like,
Yeah,
Like,
when
wow.
Elmer Fudd and Bugs Bunny was like a Luftwaffe pilot.
Yeah.
Do you remember that one?
Yeah. And there was one as well where like instead of Elmer Fudd, the bad guy was this African American, right? Who was just like I don't know. His head was like that big, but his lips. Like that, and you're like, you can't get away with that anymore and all that. And he spoke like the whole kind of like, what are we doing today, boss? Kind of stuff. And I'm like, Warner Brothers, you can't.
That was Bugsy Malone, Bugsy, Muggsy.
Are you talking about like the gangster from the Looney Tunes? Yeah, like the little short guy.
With the hat where you can never see his glasses.
Never quite see his
it was one of his sidekicks.
Shut up, yeah.
Oh, that was the dog, the two dogs.
that was
Buster
Sam.
and Chester.
No, it was Sam and Ralph, wasn't it?
It was the big bulldog.
We clearly haven't watched Looney Tunes in a while.
Oh yeah, if you can hear a dog
Bring it
right
up,
now, that's Griffin, the pod dog. He's been made to go outside, so
He's
you can hear him
whinging
going,
outside the window.
Poor puppy. No, there was the two dogs. There was a big one and a little one. And
I know
it was
the
like
one, yeah.
Chester and I
He'd
forget
run
the
around and
little
be like,
one.
what are we going to do today, boss?
Yeah. I love Chester. He's so big and strong. He's my pal. Shut up.
That wasn't the one that was like, we didn't forget the gravy.
Yes, no, that was a different one altogether. But Chester was in it. Wow, I'm gonna have to start educating you boys.
We've just like combined about 7 Looney Tunes characters into one random gangster dog.
Well, they did. We're kind of interchangeable, and that dog did.
Let's make our own cartoon series.
African American gangster dog.
Gangster dog.
African American gangster dog.
Yeah.
Is that the new cartoon?
No, speaking of that, back when I was in year 12, I actually invented a cartoon character with a mate, and we were trying to work out. It was kind of like Orgasmo, pretty much, because we can kind of rip that off in hindsight. But
So you didn't really invent. You just
no,
copied something.
we invented him, but then he was called Super Whiz Bang Man because we're trying to
The
think of
initial on the that would be a long.
yeah,
that's weird.
And because I worked at the fish and chip shop at the time, that's where he worked. And he was a fish and chip shop cook by day.
By day.
And he was the world's most oversexed superhero by night. And he used to like drive around in this big like dick-shaped car, and his balls would like just swell up, and to and he would lose his power. Yeah.
And how old were you when you invented this?
Oh, like
28.
we would have
Too
been.
old? What?
I reckon it might have been year 11 or 12. So
Right, so, okay.
way too old to be.
Well, I don't know. All I'm picturing here is like two young lads just going, I just can't wait to get laid. Can't wait to get laid. This is gonna be so awesome when we first get laid. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Living your life through Super Whiz Bang Man.
Yeah.
Super, yeah, exactly. It was getting more action than these guys.
So
would
what, did
never
he actually
get.
have a power, or is he just like, he's like, I'm Super Whiz Bang Man and I want to fuck?
I honestly can't remember what his power was. It was probably terrible. I just remember that his
Super
balls used to
Whiz Bang Man,
swell.
I want to fuck.
He was the
And
world's
the girls
most.
would go, wow, it's Super Whiz Bang Man.
Yeah, they pretty much would.
And then
He's
he'd
as
drop
fast as
their
a bird.
drawers.
He's as fast as a plane. Nah, it's over now. So
So I used to come up with the storylines, and there was another one of my mates who he would do all of the illustrations. It was, to be fair, it wasn't all of the illustrations. It was one, but
Sometimes we turn it
every week we just do it a different colour.
yeah, I'm clearly fleshing this out way more than it was back in the day.
flashing. I see what you did there. Ah, good work. Quick to the Fleshmobile.
Well, did you know that we've talked for like 40 minutes already?
40 minutes, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that would be a good time then to play one of your mini games,
Yeah.
wouldn't it? There's a great game that that I think that Todd introduced us to last week, and I think you've just over a couple of beers.
remember?
What would you rather?
Oh, no.
It's pretty. It gets pretty crass. So if you're if you've got a weak stomach, you might want to tune out now. But yeah, it's the kind of stuff that blokes talk about when they've had a few beers and nobody really cares what the answers are.
Yeah, this
But-
all came from just working in hospitality, and when you're just on quiet shifts, when you're just trying to, and new people, when you're just trying to make conversation, you're like, you want to know what kind of person I'm like, this will get it out right there. So,
All right. So, how do you want to do this? Do you want to just like ask, say, Ben a question and then maybe ask me another question, or do you want to ask?
We'll
Ben?
do one.
I
We'll
was
do
taking
one.
it
We've got
down.
so
And then
many of these.
Yeah, that's great. And then we both answer it.
We got to
yeah,
we got
that's
to
a great
fill
way.
this show out past the first week.
Pat
So
it,
let's
yeah,
just
that'd be great. So ask us.
What's-
I just wanted to do this as an intro because it's really kind of cool.
Let's get ready to rumble!
You're only about 40 minutes too late.
Not
on that
really.
one.
We're not really rumbling, but that's beside the point. All right. Okay. So have you got something good for Benny then, mate?
Well, you the original
Just go on.
question, and you guys already know this, but I want to really delve into the answer. How this all started was the first one, and I don't know, I must have been tired or just fed up the day I came up with this. I just looked this guy, Jack, top bloke, when he came in. I'm just like, Jack, serious question. Would you rather fuck a goat and no one will ever know, right? Or not fuck the goat, but everyone in the world thinks you did. So I think it's not in your hometown. You could be walking down. You could be walking down the street in your hometown. You could be in Jordan or whatever. You could be anywhere in the world, Moldova, and you'll walk down the street and be like, that guy fucked a goat.
Hey, there's Jack, the goat,
Goat
fucker.
Google goat fucker. It's him. Like,
I swear it's him. Did you fuck that goat, Jack? Yeah, he fucked that goat. He's saying no, we know he did.
flawless Jordanian accent. I don't know. But,
Jordanian?
Jordania?
That wasn't.
Jordania. I like that. That's better.
That was kind of
Jordanese,
like.
that's-
Yeah.
But that was the original question. And it took him ages, and he's like, I don't know what the answer. I'm like, there's no...
There's no correct answer.
There's no... You can't win. There's a no win, right?
Depends. It depends on how much you like fucking goats as to whether there's a win.
Well, all right then. Well,
I mean-
how much do you like fucking goats?
Depends how good, like, what kind of... Are we talking like a young goat? Like, I don't know,
Yeah.
like,
Can I get my choice of goats? Can I
can I go to a farm and pick the goat?
Can I pick a nice, young, supple goat that's willing, eager to please?
That goat doesn't look like it's judging me.
Do you know what's really
You really don't want to put this on air. I don't think you want to put your
Yeah,
answer
no,
on
come on. What would you do, Benny, and why? Would you fuck that goat?
Do you just have to put the tip in? Or do you have to, like, what is...
Well, okay.
We all delved into that as well. Like,
Well,
you have to finish.
what-
You have
what's
to.
your-
I'm like, you have to finish. You don't have to finish in the goat, but you got to finish. So you can pull out of the goat.
Can...
on the
You
goat's
can go on the
face.
fields. No, that's fine.
Does
He's just going to completely pawn it right up.
a...
Benny's just going for that goat.
Does a goat blowjob count? Because if I could just like, you know, put a bit of peanut butter or something and just like, that clearly would be the best option if that's
there really is no wrong.
so it's not oral.
No right.
Yeah, it's not oral sex from a goat. Yeah,
No.
you can't.
You can't not fuck the goat.
You can't find an answer. I love that's great because people, like so many people, you can't win. Most people go, "Oh, I wouldn't." And I'm like, "Well, everyone thinks you're a goat fucker. You goat fucker." You know? And people will be like, "Okay, I'd fuck the goat." Ah, you fucking stupid, you filthy goat fucker. Like either way.
Yeah, well, see, I'd own that shit. I would. I'd not fuck the goat, but then have everyone just going, "Is that a guy that fucked the goat?" But yeah, motherfucker, I fucked the goat. What of it?
Imagine the memes.
"Oh, you know
the
what?"
memes on YouTube.
Yeah.
But there's
if I had to lean one way or the other, I'm pretty sure I'm fucking that goat.
I don't know why I picked a goat. Could be anything. But the best response I ever had was from a South African man. He just looked at me and he goes, "Does it have to be a goat?" He's like, "What if I fuck like 2 squirrels?" And I'm just like, "Oh, you." This is about 2 days after I asked him, so I'm like, "You've put a lot of thought."
He's gone home and
He's gone home and had 2 days.
Does 2 wrongs make a right? Or does 2 squirrels make a goat? I don't know.
Well, then it goes back to what Benny said. Like, does that be fucking them? Because like we know how much squirrels love putting nuts in their mouth. Jam these in there, squirrels. That's a visual gag, that part.
But there's plenty more. Like, it's not really a would you rather, but the very first question that came up was, would you have a finger of your choice? No pinky, no thumb. Has to be one of those 6. Any one you want, surgically removed for 50 grand.
Pinky or thumb's only 4.
I would have Benny's thumb surgically removed in an instant for 50
No,
grand.
they're 6. You take the pinky and the thumb, you got those 6.
Oh, the middle 3. Oh, the middle
Yeah,
ones.
you can't take a pinky, no pinky, no thumb. One of those 6.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Surgically removed. So you go in, doctor hacks it, off, and I mean off, not just from the bottom. You can go, I want that one off. 50 grand, tax free.
Middle fingers.
You don't have to pick one. You can keep one. You can keep one. You can be like, oh,
right,
fucking that
so
guy
middle-
cut me off. There we go.
Middle finger on my non-dominant hand.
Yeah, you would. So you would, because I wouldn't. I wouldn't in a heartbeat. And I'd go the.
Well, the ring finger on your opposite hand as well.
Yeah, I'd go to ring finger.
Yeah, that'd go.
50 grand tax free, and if people ever went, what happened to your finger? Like, hacked it off 50 grand.
I would for 50 grand. I would have Benny's fuck you finger taken off.
Tax.
How much would it have to
So I'd say I got 50 grand at him, and he'd go,
if it was just someone with like a meat cleaver?
Oh. So
Same finger, but how much would it be if it's not surgical anymore?
I don't deal well with pain. That's tough. Minimum you have to double it. I want 6 figures.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's gonna hurt. Like, oh no, I'm not gonna enjoy that. 100k.
I don't think you're supposed to enjoy it.
But like 100k.
Can you repeat the question? What was the...
Instead of getting your finger surgically removed, someone has a meat cleaver and just bangs it off. And then you can go and get doctor, so you're not going to like die or anything.
Yeah.
But
so then...
You just go to the butcher and be like, that one right there. Make it quick, make it quick.
The knife can be really sharp, so
Okay.
you're not...
What about a cigar clipper?
Oh,
It might take a while to gnaw through that bone. With
No,
it.
anything sharp.
kindergarten
and
scissors.
It can be
4 months of just
Hanging all the way through.
It can none of that. It can be done in
one motion.
one motion, and it's just going to be clean. So you're not going to like dive. You're not just going to go septic or anything, and you can go straight to the doctor. How much?
What's my dollar value?
Yeah. Given that you would do it for, we all said we'd do it for 50k if we just went into get it surgically removed.
Yeah. Ooh. I'm with you, Todd. It'd have to be like a 6-figure thing.
Yeah,
and it depends on who's giving me the money, because I know if you said it, I know you're just going, I'm getting my finger chopped off, and then you're just going, you idiot.
to Mexico.
I haven't got $100,000.
I'm gonna go.
I'll pay you back $5 a week, bro. I'm totally good for it.
125k, so 100k, and then I'm just gonna because I know I'm gonna waste the 25. I want to clear 100k. I know of it. I'm just gonna waste and have a great time with the 25. 125. Please, no one ever come up to me with 125. I don't want.
That's a pretty good number.
125. It's 100k just to put aside, and we go, I got 100 grand no matter what, and then I can
I'm
just
going to
go,
want
"There's
to
25 down
see
all
that
the
cash
time."
too. I want to see it spilled out on a table like at the end of the World Series when it goes heads up.
I wouldn't want to
I
pick it
want
up
all the
once you
money
get it
just
done.
piled
Just
onto a
blood
table in front of me so I can see it.
Before they,
Before they chop it, because then I'll be like, okay, well that's over there.
then you'll get
and I'll
blood
put
all
my
over
hand
it and you
over
won't
this
be able to
way.
cash it in.
Here comes the decapitation girls with the money, just pouring it on the table. On the
Yeah,
top of the table.
exactly.
There we go.
Yeah, slinky dresses. Here, look at this.
Yeah.
Lovely. Yep, agreed. Yep. I like it. I think it's probably a good place to end your first podcast.
Yeah.
mate.
Oh, there's plenty more. Like anyone who can think of one, just no matter how twisted. Like we started off with fucking a goat.
Yep.
That's gonna be like,
Well, that's probably a good thing to get
so there's a
people
go.
to do.
So
'cause-
maybe under fucking a goat, but above just like the old how much to suck a dick. Like, that's like the first.
Has to be more creative
how
than
much
that.
to suck a dick? I left my wallet.
I've got plenty of these, so we'll have to.
But
Come
we
back
could,
to
and if
them
you haven't
another
got plenty, we could also just throw it out because we've got we're going to have a Twitter thing shortly, isn't it? We're going to get that up there at 49 Shades Pod.
49 Shades Pod.
We
Yep.
will
Yeah,
find
so,
a way. Yes,
so
we
if you
will
get
have-
onto at 49 Shades Pod and then just give us your
So that's Toddy on
what would you
Twitter.
do?
What are you on Twitter, Daryl?
I'm Swanky at Swanky126.
And I am Benny_Macca. So if you can tweet at any of us, then we'll.
Yeah, don't be shy, guys. Don't be shy at all. There's, I think we've set the line pretty far. So, like,
So if you can
try
beat
it.
that,
Yeah, and tell us what you think of the show. And we like things like, die! Never put this podcast on again. Go to hell. You
I hope bad things happen to your loved ones, so you
Yeah.
suffer. Is the worst thing I've ever heard.
I'm a goat lover, and this was a horrible show. I don't mean goat lover. I mean, like, I got goats and I like them very
I
much.
would never pay a goat for sex. I think that is inhumane.
prostitution is wrong.
Hashtag stupid goat fuckers.
That's a great way to end the show.
right.
Hashtag stupid goat fuckers.
Well, that's great, man. I appreciate this, guys. We were a bit iffish about doing this, and this is great. This has actually been a lot of fun, and I look forward to doing this a lot more. And if people listen, brilliant. If they don't, I've had a blast anyway. So everyone who has, if they have listened, thanks a lot, guys. This has been great. Absolutely great for the first episode of 49 Shades of Grey. I've been Todd Gray.
I've been Swanky.
And I'm Benny Macca.
And hopefully you've had a good laugh. And thanks for laughing, guys. Have a good one.
See ya.
Say you won't, say you do.